Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you're enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for Grade 1. We are learning Unit 6. Its title is Never Lie. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of grammar, we are going to learn singular plural. Before this, in your English primer, you have learnt about singular plural. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. And in Unit 2, I taught you this concept, singular and plural naming words. Remember? If not, you may watch this video lecture again. And we are going to learn further to recognize and change the numbers of simple naming words by adding or removing S. This is our today's SLO. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Al-Nahl, verse 69. Then eat from all the fruits and follow the ways of your Lord laid down for you. Yes, my dear children, what is the message of this beautiful verse? Beta, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning whatever Allah has created for you, for example, fruits, eat it and follow the ways. Do what Allah wants us to do, right? So we should always obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, my dear children, look at these words, fruits. This word fruit, by adding S, we had made it plural. Ways, by adding S, we have make it plural. You remember, I have taught you how to make plural naming words from singular. Do you remember? Okay, so let's do an interesting activity. What you will do? You will name an object in the classroom and tell, is it singular or plural? For example, if you say door, you have to mention it's a singular naming word. And if you say chairs, you have to mention it's plural naming word. So every one of you will tell one naming word and also tell it's singular or plural. So pause the video, enjoy this beautiful activity and then come back. Yes, my dear children, I hope all of you mention one naming word. Very good. So it's time to recall what naming words are. Do you remember? Yes, everything around us which we can feel, touch, hold or see is a naming word. And this naming word may refer to a person, place and thing. Means it can be a person, it can be a place or it can be a thing. If this naming word refers to one person, it is called singular naming word. And if it is more than one, what do we call it? Plural naming word. Very good. Likewise, for place, if it is for singular, for one place, it is singular naming word. And if it is more than one, it's plural naming word. And if it is for one thing, it's singular naming word. And for more than one, it's plural naming word. This is how, by looking at the things, we can find if it is one, it is singular. If it is more than one, it's plural. But how do we use it in writing? Do you remember the rule? Okay, so how do we do it? Look at this picture. It's boy. It's one, so it is singular, right? Singular means one, and here this is the picture of boy. And if there are more than one, what is this? If they are more than one, they are plural. It's plural naming word. And how do we write it? Boy, and to make it plural, we add S. Boys. Boy is singular and by adding s it becomes boys, it's plural because now this naming word is for more than one, right? Likewise, chair, it's one, so it's singular. And if there are more than one, it's plural naming word. And how do we write it? Chair. And what we have to do? We will add s to make it plural. Chairs. Chair, one, singular. Chairs, more than one, plural. Right? So far we have already studied. Now the next step is, if you are using a plural naming word. They are more than one, so plural. And how do we write it? Boys. So this s is already there. Boys, plural. And if I ask you, what is the singular of this naming word? How will you write it, or how will you tell it? Means they are more than one. So we have used plural naming word boys. And if it is one, we have to use singular naming word. And what we will do? We will remove this s to make it singular. Boy. Right? Boys, plural. Boy, singular. Boys, more than one. And boy, one. Right? Likewise, chairs. It's a plural naming word. And what is the naming word for one? What we'll have to do to make this plural naming word, to make it singular, what we will do? We will remove this s and we'll write chair. Chairs, plural. Chair, singular. Do you understand? Okay, so let's practice it through an activity. What we are going to do? Teacher will divide class into pairs. Each pair should start with a deck of cards, and every card should have a naming word in written form or picture form. One student flips a card up, says the naming word, and also tells either its singular or plural naming word. The other student in the pair will change the naming word, the number of naming word, right? So pause the video, enjoy the activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, now you have changed many naming words, number of naming words from singular to plural and plural to singular. Let's practice this concept from your book. All of you open your book on page number 51. What we are going to do, it's question number 3. Look at the given. You have to read these sentences and the naming word which has been already underlined. First, you'll have to find out it's singular or plural. You will rewrite this sentence over here by changing the number of this naming word which is underlined. Okay? Do you understand? Okay, pause the video, complete this task in your book, and then come back. Yes, my dear children. Are you done with it? Good job. You are smart. Now it's time for your homework. What you will do? At your home, look around and write 5 naming words of singular objects and 5 naming words of plural objects. So what is the first step? You will find out what are the objects which are singular. For example, you have one gate, one car, so all these are singular, and you have to write 5 plural. For example, you have 2 bedrooms, you have 10 chairs, so you have to list 5 singular and 5 plural naming word. And in next step, also change number by adding or removing s at the end of the naming words. So singular you have to make plural and plural you have to make singular. This is your homework. And here is a worksheet. My dear fellow teachers, this worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. And my dear students, what you are going to do, you have to change the number from singular to plural for these naming words. So what we have learned? We learned the concept of number of simple naming words. We learned how to recognize the number of simple naming words. And we also learned by adding s to singular naming word is converted into plural. And we also learned by removing s, a plural naming word is converted into singular. So in this way, we achieved our SLO to recognize and change the numbers of simple naming words by adding or removing s. Are we done with it? Yes. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning and take very good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.